I struggled to find a really good team for Halloween Cup for a long time. I found that the teams I was facing was not really cohesive. It could be Carbink in the front, Toxapex in the back, switched up, double poison front and back, and I was asking my locals what they were running with success, and they recommended me Charjabug with Crunch and the Sandcastle Palossand. And I also threw in Swalot as the safe swap, because Swalot is the treat and not the trick in this year's Halloween. I found Charjabug, the use of it is to handle ghost types, and I really like Crunch for that. You absolutely need Crunch for that, and Swalot is so tanky that even Pokemon like Jellicent, that completely like walls off its charge moves, Swalot is so tanky that it still gets to 3 Sludge Bombs usually, and dents Jellicent really, really well. And in this game, we managed to take out the Jellicent with our Swalot. Against Scizors, I like to stay in and just always let the Night Slash go through. This opponent swaps in Wigglytuff, which I thought was amazing for Swalot, but I got suspicious because I expected there to be another Fairy type in the back. So I shielded up Swalot and I thought, well, we're gonna come out of here with a lot of energy because we just mud-shot this Pokemon down. And they come in with Toxapex, and you would think, well, Toxapex walls off Swalot's moveset, doesn't it? Well, Mudshot does super effective damage and it adds up after a while, and Swalot is so spammy that you are gonna get to 4 Sludge Bombs, which takes this Toxapex really low. And we still have the energy on our Charjabug against the Scizor, so we're just gonna take them out. And we even get the debuff on this Toxapex, and we simply Volt Switch down, and that's a GG to our opponent. Against Dragalge leads is one of the hardest leads for a Charjabug. You can stay in and throw a Crunch, but I like to go immediately to Swalot to threaten the Ice Beam as soon as possible. They come in with a Pawniard. Steel types walls off Swalot's moveset, doesn't it? Well, not Pawniard, because it's so squishy. You munch it down after 2 Ice Beams, and you even might get to an Ice Beam on the Dragalge as well. Here I make a mistake, I should have come in Charjabug. Instead, I tank the Aqua Tail on the Palossand, which is really stupid because the Carbink in the back is now a real threat. Because we're gonna have to land 4 Scorching Sands to take their shields and do enough damage to win out the game. And we are just about to get to the final Scorching Sands, and I expect them to catch, so I swap into my Charjabug as well, and yeah, we have a Scorching Sand stored, and we have very low health Carbink, and that's a good game. GG. So the Sandcastle is essentially working really well for us to wall off Carbinks, which obviously destroys Charjabug. Here we have a really difficult lead for us because it's the ground and ghost types in general. So I just make sure that they are not able to catch my Crunches, and I take their shields and I go into the Sandcastle just hoping that they don't have an answer. But they do, they have a Wigglytuff, but Scorching Sands does 50% to Wigglytuffs, so we managed to take out the Wigglytuff without it reaching a charge move. And now we are just praying that the Sandcastle might get to a move before it's farmed down by the Golurk, and it does. Against the Charjabug that's left in the back, we have a healthy Swalot in the 0 shields. And I try to get fancy and make a catch here, but it's absolutely unnecessary as we survive 2 charge moves anyway. They get a farm down, doesn't matter, we're gonna get to the Sludge Bomb, it's gonna be on CMP, and of course we lose that because we're so tanky, but it's okay because we end up winning the game in the end. GG. Whenever you see a Shadow Victreebel in the lead, you can be absolutely sure it's gonna be a Carbink in the back somewhere. So I just make sure that my Exorcers aren't caught on something else, and I think, well, I'll let my Charjabug go. But I even managed to live the Leaf Blade, and I have alignment and I have shields. So I get Sandcastle on their Carbink and Swalot on the Resumerial, and that's a GG. Dark types, like especially the Dragon Dark types like Guzzlord and Swalot are incredibly hard for this team. I try to optimize my move timing as much as possible, but my opponent makes a really good play here and catches the X-Scissor on their Jellicent. Here we go up to the Crunch and they let it through, which surprised me. So, as I mentioned, Jellicent's energy doesn't do that much to Swalot, so we get a farm down here. And when the Guzzlord comes out, I bait with a Sludge Bomb because I found them to shield very often. So we land the Ice Beam, we go back to Charjabug to take the move, no shield, and we're gonna farm down with our Sandcastle. They swap out immediately, but that means we're ahead on energy. We get to the Shadow Ball first, and we just take them out. And now we will farm down, but that's a GG. And what you want Charjabug to do is essentially to handle the leads that you don't want to face with your Pokemon in the back. This is not really an ABB team or like maybe a soft ABA team. I don't know what to call it. It's an ABC team that works really well together. Wormadam would be awful for Swalot. Bug Steals in general are really bad for Swalot. So we stay in and take it out. And here I bait against the Jellicent because as they didn't shield the Wormadam, I was pretty confident they wouldn't like to take the damage on the Jelly. But they miscount our energy, so we get to a final Crunch. And that means Charjabug just took out 2 Pokemon in this match, and then we get Swalot on the Razumarill in the back, and yeah, 3-ball your opponent with this team, trainers. Whenever you face an Azumarill lead, you ideally want them to swap out, because your charge moves are not hitting them for super effective damage, or yeah, at least you're hitting them for resisted damage with all your charge moves. No shield the Night Slash on the Scissor that comes in. I make a mistake here and throw my charge move. There's no need to, because you can farm down the Scissor in the 2 shields, and that sets me up for a worse endgame than I would have needed if I just came out with the energy. So I save up a Scorching Sands, but I do get my Swalot aligned to the Azumarill, so we are looking good here. It's a weird situation because I don't want to give the Wormadam a lot of farm. So I go for an undercharge and I land an Ice Beam on the Wormadam, which lets me swap back into the Sandcastle as soon as possible. And with the attack debuff here, it sealed the fate for this trainer. And we take it out with another Scorching Sands, and we can mud shut down the Azumarill. Against Azumarill leads that stay in, it means trouble. That means your Charjabug is really valuable in the back. So I don't recommend you to throw your moves here, as Swalot is most likely not that valuable in the back. So I decide to save the energy on my Charjabug and go in Swalot. And they throw a Hydro Pump and they surprise me. They go in Venusaur and I expected them to shield, but I need 2 moves to KO anyway, so I throw the Sludge Bombs. It does not KO, barely. And this trainer plays it really well because they farm down with their Sableye. Luckily, we have a lot of energy on the Charjabug, so we just want to take the shields. That's what we want. We want the shields. And we could have gotten to another X-Scissor here, but it wouldn't have KO'd. So, and then if I spent the shield here, I would have to have taken a foul play on my Sandcastle, which would have lost me the game. They make an excellent catch, so we have to undercharge so much that we can come out with a Shadow Ball without taking a move. And we do! And we throw a Shadow Ball into the Sableye, and it lives on 1 HP. That's exceptionally well played by this trainer. And if you give this team a try, please leave a like on the video and comment on it as well. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and happy Halloween.